The inevitable move of Kylian Mbappé seems to be happening. Tic tac. I completely agree with Chiringuito with that quote because it's tic tac for Kylian Mbappé to join Real Madrid. He said it. Yeah. He said it. Yeah. Like, it's insane the quotes that we the press conference that Mbappé held this today in Cameroon was unbelievable for every Real Madrid fan. He clearly stated, Mbappé stated in today's conversations with the journalists that if PSG didn't have a winning mentality to go and win a Champions League. And when asked why, what do they need? He said, don't ask me. I'm not the person to answer that question. That is Mbappe's attitude. Unreal. Yeah. And Mbappé had 41 goals and 9 assists. And we all know those stats in La Liga with a La Liga champion that wins a Champions League too, that's a Ballon d'Or. And he can't get that at PSG. And he's realized that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he realized that after he saw Lionel Messi leave, after he saw... I mean, what I need to kind of wrap my head around is what was the expectation when you give the guy, a young kid, 22, 23 at the time, the keys essentially to the castle, the keys to the decision-making, and then when the time comes for him to kind of own up, I mean, I guess he's doing his part on the pitch, but off the pitch, to call the locker room divisive, to call the ownership group divisive, I mean, we're talking about Real Madrid supporters. Almost feel bad for PSG supporters when it comes down to this. This is your marquee signing. This is the guy that was supposed to lead you to the promised land of winning your first ever Champions League. And here he is now passing the buck because in the end, him and two of the most famous and best players of all time in footballing history couldn't get it done. I don't think it's the ownership's group as much, or that it's got to be a 50-50 split for me. Mbappe and the ownership group at PSG. They did everything they could to make this happen. They couldn't get it done on the pitch. They picked wrong when it comes to the coaches leading them forward. So you know what? Excuse me if I'm not a little perturbed about his quotes, even if I do in some respects agree with them. And I would actually, as a Real Madrid, if I'm Florentino Perez, I would be looking at this and seeing maybe a red flag, at least one red flag that comes beyond the football playing ability that we all know Kylian Mbappé is capable of. But I'm looking at Kylian Mbappé and saying, this guy will turn on you the moment he gets a chance. So isn't that scary to think about?
For Florentino Perez, I completely agree. And Nasser Al-Khelaifi said after Mbappe's quotes to the media today, why doesn't he leave just now? The bomb has been released, and this is why the Mbappe leaving is now 100% real, people. Believe in what we're saying right now, because it's never been as inevitable that it is right now. And I think Doha and Qatar, since Mbappe sent that letter to Florentino Perez, they were humiliated, because we all know that in that letter was, in 2024, I will be signing for free to Real Madrid. No transfer. PSG is the losing team. After losing Messi, after losing Neymar, after losing everything that they could get and they wanted, which was the Champions League. Even the managers. There's no manager that has succeeded since Tuchel left, at PSG. It hasn't worked out. So a lot of question marks. And Nasser Al-Khelaifi was reportedly spoken from players that are arriving at the club saying that this is not the right mentality from a star player in the team. I bet Asensio was one of them. Asensio was one of them. So you're doing exactly what you need to do for Mbappe inevitably to go to Real Madrid. I really believe he was one of those players saying, Nasser, come on, we don't need players like this in our locker room. And understandably so. I think Mbappe will never have another training session at PSG. It's over.
I mean, it already seems, and I haven't been able to verify this, but it already seems like he's been pulled off of some marketing materials for some friendlies that they're going to be playing in the near future. But listen, we're going to talk about Real Madrid more in a little bit, because obviously if you can look past what I see as a red flag from a personality standpoint and from I own everything and I'd rather, chat with Kim Kardashian and whatnot, a type of addition, Galactico edition, no doubt it would be to Real Madrid. I'm actually pretty damn excited, excuse my language, with the PSG refresh. Let it happen. Clearly throwing beaucoup bucks at really, really solid players and expecting the personalities just to mesh, for them to just ingratiate everyone else on the team to them and make them play an incredibly fluid style of football. That didn't work. So now you move on to getting the right person in charge. You've got Luis Enrique. I would think that that's a good start. And now you start getting shrewd business deals done to build a core. Asensio getting his chance to shine and be a marquee player for PSG, I think is going to go a whole lot better than most people are going to give it credit for. And on top of that, all of this overshadows what I think is one of their most solid signings in the last few years, and that's Manuel Ugarte. Nobody's talking about him now. Why? Because Kylian Mbappé made it about himself. And Manuel Ugarte deserves to be talked about because $60 million makes him the second most expensive transfer in sporting history, not including inflation. But it is huge because he led the Champions League in tackles won. He led the Primera Liga in tackles won. And this kid's a warrior. And I salivate thinking about him, Zaire Emery, thinking about Vitinha, thinking about this midfield that can actually come up and do some fun stuff in Ligue 1. And I bet you, they, in a year or two, can make a good run in the Champions League. Because it's not about star power as much as it is about building a team. So I'd rather look more at that PSG positives if supporters out there are trying to grasp for anything after this Mbappe, you said it best, Mbappe bomb that just hit.
With Luis Enrique, as it seems to. And I think it's not surprising because I think they could happen. Neymar staying at PSG. Because one of the best Neymars I've ever seen was with Luis Enrique, if not the best. So if he manages to convince Neymar and do a correct rebuild, we could see a PSG team doing better bits this season. More of a united group, and I do believe that midfield is much better. And signings like Miles Skriniar that are underrated too, in my view. But
Seriously.
Going back with Mbappe, why will Mbappe 100% go to Real Madrid too? Because his mother has officially opened a soccer agency. And if you have a football agency, you got to make the right deals for your clients. And Mbappe's mother wants the best for Mbappe. And the best thing that could happen this summer to him is going to Real Madrid and winning the next Ballon d'Or after that. Because that's the most likely thing to happen at Real Madrid. Mbappe, that happening. And it's not unusual to see parents or family members being the agents of top players, especially at the elite level. We see Neymar, we see Messi, we even see Harry Kane. Harry Kane, his agent, is his brother. Pretty easy job, if you ask me. But this summer, he's going to get the real test. But Mbappe's mother has gained 600 million in the space of 5 years with Mbappe. Moves to leaving Monaco, and now with PSG, even that extension. I can't imagine how much money that was involved. So that's why PSG feel betrayed. And let's see now if they're going to let her rip and him going to Real Madrid. And because we even saw Arsenal. Let me just ask you this, Brett. If you were Kylian Mbappe and you had to go to the Premier League between Arsenal and Liverpool, who would you go?
Ooh. First off, Americans own both of those, and if I could never see Stan Kroenke actually okaying a compensation package for Kylian Mbappe. So sorry to throw water on that. But as of right now, I don't know. I mean, Arsenal is very clearly trending up, and I'm sorry I don't have a quick answer for you because it's so much more nuanced than that. Obviously, right now, everything feels like it's going Arsenal's way. I have a feeling like 2023, 2024 might throw a little speed bump in that because it feels too good. I think Liverpool is going to have a massive come up. I think they've shown that they can remain relevant even amidst last year, and they've been incredibly dominant if you take out Manchester City over the last few years. So I would actually say Liverpool.
It's interesting. They definitely have options to attack. So I'd like that. But reportedly, by Independent, they were saying Arsenal was Mbappe's first choice. So if Arsenal sign him, that would be Thierry vibes, and he wins, that would be insane. Saliba, Convince Mbappe.
Yeah.
But let's see. But people, put down below your thoughts about the Mbappe deal. And if you agree with me that it will happen next week. Do you think it will, Breton?
I do. I do.
With
I
us.
think
Sorry.
it's put up or shut up now. PSG's got to do it. They got to get the money they want, and Kylian Mbappe has got to make the move. He's pigeonholed himself. It's Champions League and Ballon d'Or or bust for Kylian Mbappe. And so, yeah, the bomb has been dropped.
The best player in the world. That's the level.
Yeah.
Because if he's going to those Michael Rubin parties, Kylian Mbappe, he's got to be the best player in the world. Tom Brady was there. And, I don't know, elite people, Kim Kardashian as it seems. I don't know. But
yeah, man. And if it doesn't work out, blame Kim Kardashian. I think we can